Perspective and perception are two incredibly important words for how we navigate this thing we call life. Perspective is the angle in which you're looking at something, or what side you're coming from. Perspective is important, if you're looking at a political issue, if you're looking at a social issue, if you're looking at a family issue. The perspective is important because it's also going to tell other people whose side you're on, or how you're trying to understand something. Your perception, on the other hand, is the lens in which you see things through. If you were brought up in a strict household where you think that you have to have a regiment, you have to have a schedule, and the only thing standing in the way of success is a schedule, then that is your perception of things because of your experience, and so that's the lens in which you look through the world. So you're going to blame people for not having a good schedule or not staying on task, whereas if you are maybe raised or brought up through a more kind of free-form artistic model of doing things where you just are working all day long, you don't really stick to anyone's schedule, and you need to be free to come at things from different perspectives, then your perception of the world is going to be, well, things are, the time frame was too tight, I didn't have enough time to get something done, and so your perception is going to be changed. Your lens is going to be changed and tempered with that thinking. It's important to understand what your lens in life is, how you perceive things, what your perception is, and how that perception, how that lens is forged, because that's going to let you understand all of the filters that you're seeing through. If you're seeing through, something that needs to be really rigid or something that really needs to be freeform, then that's going to color how you see things. Whereas your perspective, where you sit on things, is going to be important because you need to understand where you're coming from. If you're coming from the right or if you're coming from the left, if you have a global perspective where you're trying to look at things, from the 30,000 feet up and look down and look in the big picture, or if you're looking at just the little tiny details. There's a fine line between the two, but they are total worlds unto themselves. And the more you understand your perception, the better you can understand what perspective to take to get maximum value out of something. Perspective is the difference between something being good or bad. Perception is how you color in within that bad or that good, and how you are filling out the details and taking it in and experiencing it. So if you see something as being good, then the colors might be much more vibrant, and you're going to see much more value, and so your perception is going to be more full or grateful or happy for what you're looking at. Whereas if you are coming from the perspective that something is bad and this can't be good for anyone, then that's going to dull the colors. That's going to dull the world that you're looking at, because you're limiting yourself to grays and blacks and a monochromatic scale of things not being what you want them to be. So it's all limiting. So the biggest difference that we have to look at is your perception is what's going to limit or expand how you view the world, and your perspective is going to be the angle in which you're coming at it. So if you want to have, the maximum joy in life, the maximum, good, whatever that means to you, then, you need your perception to be as open as possible. And that way, the more open it is, you're going to be able to take different perspectives, and you're going to be able to see it from different angles more easily because you have more information and more value that you're putting on the thing that you're looking at. If you are shut down and your perception of something is really bad, then you're going to limit yourself and limit how you are looking at the world, how you are looking at something, and you're going to have less perspective on either side of it to be able to get any value out of the thing that you're looking at. Really try to understand the lens that you've created through your life, the perception that you are putting on everything that you experience, and then try to understand the perspective or the angle from which you're coming. If you're always coming from the same angle, then it's going to be really, really, really hard to change your perception. But if you look at it from a different perspective, then your perception is going to be able to more easily change, and then you might be able to expand your perceptions and get more value out of whatever it is that's in front of you in your life. Hope this helps.